UFC flyweight Tim Elliott has accused his ex-wife Gina Mazany of cheating on him with fellow MMA fighter and friend Kevin Croom throughout their marriage. Elliott took to Twitter to level serious allegations against Mazany and Croom, posting a photo of Mazany reading wedding vows to his daughter from his previous marriage. Croom can also be seen in the photograph holding the microphone. Quote, "You want to see something gross? This is my wife reading vows to my daughter on our wedding night. The guy holding the microphone was my friend and teammate. My wife cheated on me with this guy the same night, and they've had a relationship our entire marriage." Elliott further claimed that he found out about his wife's extramarital affair via text messages sent by Mazany to a friend, and that Mazany later confessed it as well. According to Elliott, Mazany did not come home with him on their wedding night, saying that she needed to attend to friends that were from out of station. Mazany and Croom, both of whom were released by the UFC last year, are now together, according to Elliott, although they haven't commented on the accusations. Elliott hasn't fought since UFC 272, where he beat Tagir Ulanbekov. He's scheduled to face Victor Altamirano at UFC Fight Night on June 3rd. Paige VanZant is done pleasing people, and she'll now do whatever makes her the happiest version of herself. The former UFC star has been out of action for the last 2 years and hasn't competed since losing to Rachel Ostovich at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in July of 2021. VanZant probably doesn't need to fight anyways, since she's been making quite a lot of money through her social networking profiles and modeling gigs. But her time away from fighting has made her gain some extra pounds, which doesn't sit well with her followers. A few days ago, VanZant complained that she has been receiving vile comments on YouTube from trolls who have been consistently fat-shaming her. VanZant responded to her naysayers through an Instagram post in which she can be seen flexing in front of a mirror. Quote, "Dear haters, I effed up. I've been really good at putting my best self forward, making sure the world sees the prettiest side of me. But where I fell short is that I never showed the true me until now. The truth is, yes, I have gained a lot of weight, probably 20 plus pounds, but I also gained strength, power, muscle, and an effing ton of happiness. I see every single comment on my YouTube channel about how I look pregnant, obese, fat, and won't be able to fit through a door soon. But one thing I have always remembered, happy people ain't haters, and haters ain't happy. So all you haters out there, keep on commenting. You're only growing my platform. And I promise from this day forward to show the real me forever. The fat me, the broken me, the skinny me, and the happiest effing version of me I have ever been. Social media will never be real, but I'll try and be better. Anyways, check out my YouTube channel, because I'll be damned if I don't continue to profit off of the best haters in the world. Yours in thickness, Paige VanZant. Yes, all these were taken the exact same time and unedited. Social media is a lie." VanZant also posted a video of herself having a ball at Texas Roadhouse. Stephen Thompson believes Nate Diaz will get his butt whooped by Jake Paul. Diaz parted ways with the UFC after submitting Tony Ferguson at UFC 279, and he is now set to make his boxing debut against Jake Paul in August. If he manages to beat Paul, he'll be the first MMA fighter to do so, since Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and most recently Anderson Silva failed to beat him. Former two-time UFC welterweight title challenger Stephen Thompson has nothing but respect for the progress Jake and his brother Logan have made in combat sports.
Jake, fighting these guys, he's improving in his boxing skills every day. You gotta tip your hat to these guys. They come from Vine. They got really popular on Vine when Vine was a thing. Then YouTube, they were YouTubers, and now they're professional athletes, man. It's crazy to be able to see the progression that these guys take.
Jake especially has made tremendous improvements to his boxing game over the past few years. And this is why Thompson believes he'll get the job done on fight night. Although he'd love to see his fellow MMA legend win.
I would love to see Nate win this fight, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I think Jake has solidified himself as a professional athlete. He looked great his last fight. I think Jake's got it.
Now, while the Paul brothers have their share of supporters, many also accuse them of paying fighters millions to take a fall. In case that's true, would Nate Diaz be tempted to lose for money? Former UFC heavyweight Brandon Schaub doesn't think so.
I think it's Jake's toughest fight. I think it's tougher for him than Tommy Fury. But the narrative on Jake is all his fights are fake and they're set up, and we know he knows who's going to win. He's not a real boxer. Okay, cool. Well, do you think in any facet there's enough money in this world that they could pay Nate Diaz to take a fall against Jake Paul? If you're a fan of Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz, you know the Diaz brothers would not compromise. They do not play that shit. They're set financially, especially Nate.
Thompson most recently fought at UFC Fight Night in December of 2022 when he defeated Kevin Holland by a doctor stoppage. He is rumored to face Michel Pereira in July. Do you agree with Stephen Thompson that Nate Diaz will lose to Jake Paul? Kron Gracie has cited bad advice as the reason for his bizarre performance against Charles Jourdain at UFC 288. Gracie failed to wow MMA fans upon his return to the octagon after a lengthy 4-year layoff. To the surprise of many, Gracie used little to no striking throughout the fight and resorted to repeatedly pulling guard on Jourdain, who won by a comfortable decision. In an Instagram story, Gracie blamed bad advice for his loss and assured his fans that he would go back to his old ways. Quote, "In a lifetime of fighting, it's always been a fight to the death. Understand the situation and willing to limit myself. Even that being said, I threw no punches because of bad advice and tried to please the jiu-jitsu community 2 days before my fight. First fight of my life, I didn't throw a punch, going back to my old ways." If by going back to his old ways, Gracie means he'll throw hands moving forward, well, that's a good sign, because Dana White wasn't very impressed with his performance, and he's someone you don't want to piss off.
You know, I like Kron a lot, and he's a good kid. He came in very limited tonight, very limited. You know, it was like coming out of a time capsule in 1995, you know what I mean? Tough way to try to win a fight these days.
Yeah, 30th anniversary, you'd never think you'd kind of see that.
Well, the kid's got a ton of heart, he's got a good chin. I like him, and you know, I don't want to shit on his performance, but yeah, that was a rough game plan.
What do you make of Kron Gracie's explanation? Give us your thoughts on today's stories in the comments section below. If you liked the video, please make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that we can keep bringing you stories like the ones you just watched. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.